Have you ever wondered why every country has a similar looking passport? Even countries that seemingly hate each other's guts can all agree on this one thing. It's so machines can read them. Video over, right? Well, no. Because then you have to ask how countries who are busy flinging harsh words and even harsher bombs at each other manage to agree on passports. As early as the 1920s, groups like the League of Nations were attempting to make passports from around the world more uniform, and they laid the groundwork for what a modern passport would look like. Although there were some key differences that might look a bit weird today. The first page was mostly dedicated to the holder's facial features, and there was a section for the holder's wife's photo, because it was assumed that they would be travelling on their husband's passport. But why even standardise passports in the first place? In the wake of World War I, there were a lot of displaced people moving around Europe, mostly by train. When they passed through countries or arrived at their destination, there was confusion about all the different documentation being presented. Different sizes and different languages made it hard to determine what was a genuine document. The League of Nations said that this was causing a serious obstacle to the resumption of normal intercourse and to the economic recovery of the world. So they set about standardising it. Then, in the 1960s, they were still standardising it. You might have noticed that that's 4 decades and another world war later. 1963's UN Travel Conference failed to produce a standardised passport. It was in 1980 that the International Civil Aviation Organization finalised the standard for what we think of as a passport today. In large part, this was to ensure that passports would be readable by machines, as the number of people flying continued to increase year on year. So, what does a passport have to look like? The actual document that standardised passports is called 9303, and it's huge, broken up into many sub-documents, and it's part 4 that dictates the visual elements of the passport. It dictates that the booklet must be 125mm tall and 88mm wide, with about 3mm radius on 2 of the corners. It also mandates the way data should be laid out, down to the exact spacing between letters. This is, again, to aid machine readability. So if this document is so strict, what can a nation do to customise their passports? Well, the most obvious part is the colour. While there's no restriction on what colour a country can choose, some trends and patterns have emerged. Some groups, like the European Union and the South American Mercosur trade bloc, have accepted one colour to keep consistency across its member nations. Although even then there are rebels. Yes, I'm talking about you, Croatia. Then they can choose the emblem and the text that adorns the front. On the inside, many have a page from the head of state or other officials requesting that the passport holder be granted passage into or through the country. But then we get into the really cool stuff. America went in strong with a bald eagle standing proudly in front of the stars and stripes, and next to some wheat. One CBS News columnist called it embarrassingly patriotic, but we disagree. It was Americana distilled. Then they went and ruined it with their next-gen passport, which vastly reduces the size of the eagle. Then there's the Great British Passport, full of our beaches, our fishing towns, and of course our birds. Wait, they removed all of that after the blue passport returned? Is there an issue of passports getting boring? No, do not worry. Enter Norway. Their 2020 passport redesign goes hard. The front page is sleek and minimalist, while the inside pages feature Norway's beautiful fjords. But the real magic comes when it's viewed under UV light to reveal the Northern Lights.
Aurora Borealis! Yes.
So, like a uni student trying to find a bed for under £100, the danger of boring passports has been solved by Scandinavian design. If you like this video, maybe drop us a like or subscribe. And if you have a different favourite passport design, let us know in the comments.